Good morning, my sweet friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing great. It's Friday. It's our last Friday. All right, so this half of Miss Francis is going whoop, 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 yay! This half of Miss Francis is very sad. I think that's normal. I think maybe if you tell the truth, you're probably going all yay, or maybe half and half like me. Either way, it's all good and it's all okay. However you feel today, it's okay to feel that way. All right, so let me take a peek at what you're going to do today. You don't have very much at all. You'll do history timeline. You can keep those sheets and work on those and just turn them in next Friday. Or if you want to go ahead, if you've already turned them in today, that's okay. You could maybe just sing the song to practice. For spelling, you're going to be working in your figurative language books, and you get to draw some of those fun idioms today. I so wish we were doing this together because I couldn't. I would love seeing your pictures of raining cats and dogs and zip your lip. I can only imagine what your illustrations would look like. And when pigs fly and give me a hand, hilarious. I know how funny you all would be. So. I regret that I'm not going to get to see those and do them with you today, but I hope you have fun doing them at home. Okay, literature, you're going to finish reading chapter 15 and 16 of The Story of the Treasure Seekers. So that means you would have needed to keep it at home with you today, so you can just bring it to school with you next Friday. And math, you have a calendar practice page just to review, boys and girls, but that should be just a fun, quick review for you to do. Science as well, if you wanted to keep your science books at home with you right now, that's fine by me. Just make sure I have those books that belong to school back next Friday. And I'll send moms and dads a reminder about that. Don't forget to do your daily reading. Boys and girls, I wish, and hope that you'll continue 30 minutes a day, every single day over summer break, including on the weekends. I have a stack of books up on the mantle right now that I've pulled out that say, Lee Francis, you need to read these books this summer because learning never stops. It needs to keep on going. So promise me that you'll do that. Keep on reading and learning this summer. Latin, if you didn't, you probably turned that in today, but if not, be sure I have that by next week as well. And then you can continue doing your living through history. I've seen most of those with a text of what you've done, but if not, please don't forget to do that for me. Okay. All right. Wow. Miss Francis. Okay. I was looking back at a calendar, boys and girls, and it was so crazy. This is my calendar at home. But on this day right here, on March the 6th, we all attended a play together at Cannon County. Ellen was still home from her spring break from college, and she went to that play with us. And then the next Monday, we started our long spring break, and Ellen went back to college that day. And then the next thing I know, on this day, on that Friday, Stephen and I were driving to Pennsylvania to pick her up because this great big COVID-19 thing had started. And so nothing was unusual, just that I had to pick Ellen up from college and bring her home. And then another week went by, boys and girls, and it was creeping up time for us to get back to going to school together. And then we found out that we were going to have an extra week of spring break. And we had that extra week of spring break, and then we were told it wasn't safe for us to be in the classroom together. So on March the 30th, we started doing what we called our distant learning or distance learning from home. I'm at home and you're at home. And then we did that whole week, and then another week, and another, and another, and another. For 6 weeks, we have been doing something we never expected to do. I've never done it before, and I don't think you've ever done it before. So it was something just out of the blue, or totally not ordinary, just something we never had a clue we would have to do. And we did it. It was hard for me, and I know it wasn't easy for you. I know it wasn't easy for your parents, but we all worked together and we accomplished what we had to do. So I'm so proud of you that you rose to the occasion and you did what you had to do, even though it was hard, even though it wasn't all fun and games every day. It was different. It was unusual, but you did it anyway. So I want you to know how proud I am of you. I don't have a devotion for you today, but I have straight from God's Word, something I want to read. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones. And a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and that means mend, rend is take apart, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. What gain has the worker from his toil? I have seen the business that God has given to the sons of men to be busy with. He has made everything beautiful in its time, and he has put eternity into man's mind. You know, boys and girls, that's a verse that is our what our whole rules in our classroom was based on. That God's Word says there's a time for everything. And we just went through a time we did not expect, and you did it well. And now's the time for me to say, happy being a fourth grader. You're ready to go to fourth grade. And I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited for all the many things that you will learn and accomplish as you continue on to learn all the things that God has planned for you to learn. And when I say goodbye in the classroom at school, we pack all of our things up, but we keep one thing out. We keep our Bibles out because that's the last thing we pack in our bags. Because I want you to remember every single thing you can about Greek myths and mythology and all the crazy things we learned and that we laughed about. I don't want you to forget how to classify your sentences. Don't forget subject nouns. Don't forget when to put a period at the end of a sentence. All those things that we've talked about and Miss Francis has tried so hard to teach you this year. Don't forget about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And don't forget about Detectives in Togas. And don't forget about the Bastable Children trying to find their fallen fortune. Don't forget about all the things you learned in history and that you go to a school where we learn true facts about history. Don't forget all those wonderful things that are in your head. But most of all, don't forget what this word tells you. Follow this word. Trust in God's word. Believe what he tells you. And know that you are a child of God, chosen by him to do great things with your time on this earth until we see him in eternity forever. Please know how much I love you and that you have made this year fantastic and that I can't wait to see you, even if it's not in my third grade classroom, but back at school on campus one day where we can handshake, high five, or hug, and by golly, it better be hugs. I love you so much. Levi, I love you. Thomas, I love you. Gabriel, I love you. I love you, Elijah. I love you, Trace. Moses, I love you so much. I love you, Emma. Cameron, Faith Parker, I love you with all my heart. You guys are the best. Love you. See you soon. Bye.